I studied Japanese for 1 year prior to taking this trip, and I was so excited to finally be able to go and use my Japanese. However, this trip started off very stressful. Reason being, one, my cat that I've had of 15 years, the love of my life, she passed away a week before this trip. And we were escaping the LA wildfires. The moment we got off the plane landing in Japan, we found out that our house was evacuated. And on our way to Japan, I, because of all the stress, forgot my passport, something that I absolutely would never do. And we literally barely made it on the plane. So don't let my smiles throughout this video fool you. I had many meltdowns in Japan and it was very stressful. However, after 2 days of us being there, finally things calmed down. We were able to enjoy the trip. Honestly, while I was filming this vlog, I did not think that I was gonna have enough footage to even make one video, and then when we landed, I realized I had so much footage. I actually had like 2 hours worth, so I decided to split this video in two. So we ended up going to Tokyo, and I'm not, to be honest, sure how to explain their prefectures and districts and stuff. So in this video, you are going to see us going to Shinjuku, Shibuya, and Harijuku, and then the second video, I'll explain where we go there. So I've been obsessed with Japanese culture, Japan, ramen ever since I was a kid. I actually thought that I was part Japanese for a very long time because my grandpa, we have 2 last names and one of them is Japanese. He looks Japanese. So for the longest time, I thought I was Japanese until I did the 23andMe and realized I have no Japanese in me whatsoever, but I was still obsessed with ramen. I love the Japanese culture. Always wanted to learn Japanese, but was always too intimidated because everyone always told me that learning the language was so hard. So of course the first thing we had to do in Japan was eat ramen. And then we found this cute little bakery that was right next to the hotel, and we just ordered a bunch of different things and sat there, ate there. This is the view from our hotel. It was very beautiful. Oh my god, this was our breakfast that we ate every single day. We had a buffet in combination with the hotel. And like I said, I have been obsessed with ramen for a very long time. In 2024, we went to 24 different ramen locations. So we are headed to Yokohama to go to the ramen museum. However, navigating the train station there, this was our first time, and I could not survive without Google Maps, or like the one that's on the iPhone. I recommend getting the Suica app. So downloading the app was absolutely insane. It was confusing, so I recommend just adding it to your Apple Pay. It made things much easier. So here we are at the ramen museum. I was so excited. This is a map of Japan and the different types of ramen that they have throughout the entire country. This right here is going into how they make the ramen, and then they actually have like ramen making classes that we got to see like people actually doing, so that was very interesting. And I don't know what I expected when I went to this museum, like how much can you talk about ramen, or like what is the actual history, but it was really cool. I do suggest, if you're a ramen lover like me, checking it out. Downstairs, it was so cute and set up, like the architecture, all the setup of the different ramen shops was amazing. So there, I want to say, I don't even know. I don't know how many we'll see on the menu soon, but there's many different ramen shops. We went to the one that had a vegan or vegetarian option because my husband is vegetarian. But I just love this whole setup. It was so cute, and this is within the museum. So this was the whole bottom part of the museum, which was really interesting. And I'm sorry, but this just killed ramen for me in America because it just will never taste the same. The only thing I also did notice though, we had a lot of shoyu ramen because of my husband's like dietary preferences. I really couldn't go to a lot of places because they are not vegetarian friendly over there. I want to say I couldn't try different types of ramen like tonkatsu, miso, and all that because it was a majority of shoyu, at least the restaurants that we were able to go to together, because he was able to eat like or have vegetarian options. So honestly, shoyu is not my personal favorite type of ramen. I prefer miso or tonkatsu, but that was the one we kept trying, and honestly it was just so amazing. And like I said, nothing in America will ever compare to to this experience, but it was such an amazing experience. Also, we realized that and learned food, at least in Tokyo, it's very transactional. Like, you don't really go there to hang out and like talk and do like we do in America. It's kind of like you go, you eat, and then you leave. Like, they have so many people, they want you to hurry up and eat. So it was awesome experiencing different cultures, seeing all the ramen places. I definitely recommend going to this Yokohama ramen museum if you happen to be in Tokyo. Lastly, they had this cute little ice cream shop, and I got the matcha, and it was so good. I'm very confused to how Japan is so clean, but there's no trash cans anywhere. I've been trying to throw this away for like a mile now. One thing you're gonna hear me talk about a lot in this video is the trash cans, but anyway, I will get to that later. We stumbled across this, we happened to just be walking by, and we stumbled across this like firefighter event, and it just felt so right to go and support. Like I said, we were leaving in the midst of the LA wildfires, and honestly, just being in Japan while this was going on at home was so hard and stressful to go through. Like, I was watching this Watch Duty app 24/7 and stressing out and trying not to freak out while I was in this country. But anyway, let's move on to Chinatown. This is
I don't know what that is. Oh.
Chinatown was probably one of my favorite parts of the entire trip. To me, I don't know why this day was just so fun. I just loved that we went to so many different places and tried all the street food. It kind of reminded me of like the movie Crazy Rich Asians. In Chinatown. And ever since watching Crazy Rich Asians, I kind of wanted to have that like experience where they like just get a bunch of food and eat it. So that's kind of what I felt like here. So that's what we did. Let me see it before you bite it. So cute. Take out its other eye.
A little funky. Very earthy. Very greeny.
Try this one. That one's really good. I had the peach bun, and my husband had the vegetable one, so his just was not as great as mine, but they were both great.
Shake it.
Wait, why?
It's not carbonated. Enjoy it. And give your review.
It's bitter. Oh my god, those teas in the vending machines were such a hit or miss. But anyway, we went and just kind of went through some of the little stores and shopped their little trinkets and, you know, got, I didn't get too many souvenirs. I do regret packing too much for this trip because that was the main reason why I didn't buy as much stuff. Somebody just stopped us and asked us to be, they were a film crew in Japan, and he asked me for help, and I was like, oh my god, my Japanese is so like choto. But we actually had a pretty decent conversation.
Yeah, I'm really afraid to bite into this. So I don't even know if there's actual hot dog inside.
No, it's just cheese.
So it says.
While we were in Japan, we actually got approached by a film crew and a YouTuber who was interested in like filming us and recording us. The film crew wanted us in February and the YouTuber wanted us now. So we ended up saying no, but it would have been interesting. I took a video of this toilet because the toilets were just very interesting and they were very different at a lot of different locations. But yeah, I think I have a video or picture somewhere else. But anyway, there were a bunch of these little locations throughout the Tokyo that I thought were pretty cool, but it's basically like all these cute little claw machines, and we definitely thought that they were rigged because I kept playing this one game and it kept picking up the hippo and then dropping it. Of course, I don't have video of it, but I was determined to take this thing home. Okay, it's not filmed, but I swear I won this thing like 5 times, and then it just never brought it to me.
5 seconds.
I took this baby home. So on our way home from Yokohama, we stumbled upon Shinjuku, because that's kind of where we were staying, but we didn't realize that we were hitting up this like nightlife that was very popular until later on. But so we ended up, okay, how we're doing it. We are going to McDonald's in Tokyo to see what the difference is. Okay, one thing I realized is it doesn't smell the same. And that really tripped me out because you can literally in America drive by a McDonald's and not even see it, but you smell it and you know it's there. So when we walked by, I was shocked that I didn't smell it.
Okay, so we just paid $10.78 for 2 combo meals.
And an apple pie.
And an apple pie.
Shrimp burrito.
The portion sizes are smaller. I don't think it tastes better. Or like, I don't know, people say it tastes different. It's definitely not cheaper.
Okay, I have some thoughts about this McDonald's because Cameron and I actually don't eat McDonald's at home. And every time I travel, I get really upset at just like how other countries just do things so much better than we do in America. And like, don't get me wrong, I love America, but like, we are so set up for failure. Like, okay, one, the portion sizes here are completely different. There's no large here. So like, the medium that I got was probably the small over there, and that was like the biggest you can get. 2, it doesn't have that like crack smell that McDonald's has at home where like you smell it and you're like, I need that. It doesn't have that here. 3, I'm like, this is why Americans are so fucking fat and sick, because other countries don't offer these gigantic huge sides. And I'm pretty sure those are the seed oils that we're smelling that makes us want to go into the store to buy it, because we didn't smell that here, and that was like the only difference that I noticed when eating this food.
The next day, I woke up kind of feeling like I was gonna get sick. So we went to this pharmacy, and thank God for technology, because this translator app let me know what was in this so that I could buy the right drugs, because nothing was in English, everything was in Japanese, and I can read Japanese, but I know elementary school Japanese, so I was so thankful for how advanced technology has gotten. So in this clip that you're gonna see, we are headed to Shibuya, to the famous crosswalk that everybody sees in Tokyo Drift, which was super, super exciting, but we were a little confused because we weren't sure if this was it, so that's why in the video I'm like, yeah. I think this is it, boo-boo. So this did end up being the location, so that was exciting to see. I wish I would have not packed as much stuff, because I would have definitely bought way more stuff here, because I found this store called Shibuya 109 that I absolutely loved every single thing that we found inside there, but I just didn't have the means to take everything.
I just got approached by a Japanese YouTuber who wanted to film a reaction to eating Japanese food, but we said no, but it would have been cool. Today we are in Shibuya. We just went to the crosswalk, the famous crosswalk. And then we're gonna go to some museum later.
Sorry, so like I said, I got cut off. I did not have the means to take anything home because I had packed so much. So Nikes were $80, and all this clothes that I saw that I wanted that I probably couldn't fit into was really super cheap. But anyway, let's talk about this food. So I had this pineapple blend. It was really good. However, the butter did not melt, and it was a big thing of butter, so it tasted really good, but I think it would have been better if it was just a little bit warmer. And we got this like matcha waffle thing, and it was also super amazing. My husband got one that I think was just regular curd custard. So I just loved the street food here. And then here we are in one of the little stores. They had so many of these cute little girly stores and contacts that you could buy. And we ended up eating at this Chinese restaurant.
This is what Japan thinks about our food. So it's really hard to find a trash can here. And I finally found one and I ran to it, and the guy that was standing in front of it straight up told me no. Like, I don't know if it's expensive to throw out trash here, but he did not let me throw my shit away in the trash.
I found some of the stuff in these claw machines funny because you can like purchase food, like you'll see here.
You could win yourself a cup of noodles.
So I had a friend request me to purchase Pokemon cards if I came across them, and I just thought it was so funny because they were so expensive.
This is nuts! It's really crazy to me because it's literally like the cleanest city I've ever been in, but there's no freaking trash cans.
So we continued to walk around and window shop and just look at all the different stores. We noticed here that a lot of the girls had really big eyes, and we saw that they had contacts that you can buy kind of everywhere. And then I was shocked to see this Tower Records. And then we ended up eating at this Chinese restaurant. The food was really good, and at the bottom of this I had written that they're not vegetarian friendly here. I wasn't talking about the restaurant particularly, I just meant like in Tokyo it was really hard for us to find vegetarian or vegan options. So just a disclaimer in case you travel here and that is your dietary preferences. My husband, it was really hard for us to find a place to eat where we can both eat and enjoy together because of this reason. I mentioned the contacts earlier. I think that it is just like a beauty preference here, so yeah, you can see that you can buy the contacts literally in any little vending machine.
Oh my god. I like this store.
What I liked about these touristy spots are the random things like this. Like, why does this store have a fish tank? I don't know, but it added to the appeal and I thought it was really cool. So yeah, they had eels, which was really cool. This was next to that dog shrine that you saw earlier. And here we are in that store that I told you, Shibuya, I think 109. It was a little confusing to navigate, but everything in here was so cute. I wanted all the clothes. I loved the way that they dressed in Japan. They had like this like cool schoolgirl vibe, but like not in a slutty way, and it was just really cute, cozy and comfy, and I just really liked their kind of aesthetic. So here is the view from the station, and like I said, Google Maps was the best. I could not survive the train literally without it. Like, it was a huge lifesaver. Okay, I keep saying Google Maps, but I actually think it's whatever app is on the iPhone.
Not survive without this thing.
Okay, so we went to this one mall where we were gonna go to see Team Labs, which is like this pretty cool digital art museum. However, we saw this Pokemon cafe. We were there early. One thing that we learned while we were in Japan is do not arrive early to things. They do not like you loitering, and they do not let you wait outside. So you want to show up right on time, and that kind of sucked for me because I am the type of person that is always 5-10 minutes early to everything. But anyway, this was a pretty cool experience. Some of it kind of made me dizzy, and I'm sorry if some of the footage makes you dizzy, but it was really cool experience. I almost debated not filming this because you are paying for the art. However, on one of the displays, it did talk about how the movements of the art will never be replicated the way they designed it. It is designed in a certain way that you will never see the same thing twice. So that is the only reason why I decided to film it, but I just didn't want to ruin the experience for anyone else. So I almost didn't record it, but it was really cool if you're like into this kind of stuff. I liked it, but to be honest, personally, I feel like there's so much of the same digital art that you can see. I don't know. It was cool, but just not 100% my thing, but it's definitely beautiful. Like, there is no denying that. The experience was cool, but there was so many different rooms. So if you do go, just make sure that you do get to see everything. My husband read somewhere that people spent 2 to 3 hours in this place. I found that a little hard to believe. I didn't feel like it was that big, but we did spend about an hour in there, and it was amazing, like I said. it was really cool experience if this is your type of thing. So they had many different rooms. This next room was probably one of my favorites. I was scared that honestly I was gonna bump into one of these things and break it, but it was just so beautiful and just magical. I really liked this one. I think this was probably my favorite room, but everything was hung at different levels, so I was like just trying not to bump into anything and, like I said, break anything. This room was also cool. This one I believe was just like crystal chandelier, kind of just hanging from top to bottom. Okay, so for dinner, we went back to that really popular area in Shinjuku where all the nightlife was that we had stumbled upon the day before, and really didn't know how popular it was. So we went back out there, and like I said, because it was so hard to find something that we both could enjoy. Oh, by the way, I think this is the Golden Guy. I think it was like just one little strip of like all these bars, but my husband and I don't drink, but we went to see it since it was like a touristy attraction. But anyway, we ended up eating at this Italian restaurant. It was so good. I'm not gonna lie, I'm sorry to the Italians out there. We did go to Italy for our honeymoon. It was one of their excursion stops on our cruise, and this honestly was the best Italian like lasagna I had ever had. I was shocked. But anyway, in this scene, we were just shocked by the portion sizes, because the portion sizes in Japan are so small compared to America, so it was just not what we were used to. So honestly, after having this dinner, we went somewhere else and had dinner as well. We also tried this taiyaki. Red bean filling was what was in mine, even though you can't see it, but it was really, really good. I just love trying all the street food. It was probably my favorite part of the entire lake trip.
Apparently this is the hostro of Shinjuku. That's your woman right there.
So apparently my husband told me that in this specific strip, this is like Japan's red light district. I don't know. But anyway, we had our breakfast the next day and we went to Harijuku.
We've made it to Harijuku. We're going to an owl cafe today. Okay, we made it to the Owl Cafe, but everything's kind of being screwed up because in America it is a day behind. So like our Disney tickets were for the wrong day, our Owl tickets are for the wrong day. So just be aware of this if you guys come.
Okay, I literally don't know how this happened or why it happened, but literally when we were still in America and we were booking this trip, my husband told me we were going to the Owl Cafe on Sunday, and then he said, okay, so I bought Disney tickets for Monday. But when we got to Japan, for some reason, my calendar on my phone switched everything to the following day, and he was like a little bothered because he's like, why would you book Disney on the day of like the Owl Cafe? I knew how excited he was for that. So I thought I was losing my mind because I would never do that because my schedule means everything to me. But the reason why this happened was because Japan is 17 hours ahead. So when we booked it in America, it was for one day, but when we got to Japan, it was for the next day. So we actually showed up to the Owl Cafe the wrong date. So that's why you see us end up going back hours later because we had to rebook the trip. So I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew I booked Disneyland for the correct day. Anyway, this soba, whatever this is, and this matcha, such an amazing meal. And that beef bowl that's right there puts Yoshinoya to shame. I actually really wanted to try the Yoshinoya in Japan just to compare it to the one in America, but honestly the McDonald's did not shock me, so we ended up just not going to Yoshinoya, but that was a really good meal. And then we got churros.
So we learned that if you buy something, just eat it there because then you can't throw your trash away.
So then we finished and walked around and shopped at the Harijuku strip that you saw us enter earlier. And we were just trying to kill time before we had to go back to the Owl Cafe. Like I said, we learned do not show up to any of these places super early because they're not going to let you in and they don't want you hanging outside the establishment. So we ended up just shopping, walking around. We saw a lot of different types of animal cafes while we were here.
Get out!
How cute! The scene you just saw was a pig cafe, and then this one was like a specific type of dog cafe. I don't remember the name of the dog, but they also had a hedgehog cafe. Then we went to this ice cream shop and ended up getting matcha ice cream and banana. Banana was a popular flavor here.
Is yours mixed with banana?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, one thing I kind of found funny was I did no research before heading here, and then I realized once I got home and I started kind of doing more research about Japan, because I secretly kind of want to move there, I saw all these places that I was like, oh, while I was there, I happened to record, didn't realize how popular it was until I got home. So I'm at least glad we got to see the tourist attractions. And then we stopped at this little cookie shop. It's right next door to It's actually really hard to drink.
Why?
Because the straw's not that big.
The cookie was good, and they gave us the complimentary bottle that we were drinking it out of. Okay, now time to watch my husband's dream literally come true, because we went back to the Owl Cafe and he was super excited. So we got matcha lattes and a little cute pastry that they gave us, and we sat and we consumed our drinks first while they kind of cleaned up the area that we would be entering, which is right behind me, where most of the owls are. So there was my husband talking to two of the owls that they said were not very friendly or approachable, or they were training. These two are so cute. I absolutely love them. This happened to be my favorite owl. I just thought he was absolutely adorable. He was so cute. I just wanted to kiss him. I can't remember his name exactly, but they were also adorable. Certain owls you can only touch in certain places, so some of them you only wanted to pat on the head and they were like, show him your finger first, or some they only wanted you to do the cheeks. I think it was mainly the barn owls, like the one you see here, not that one, but the one behind me, that they only wanted you to scratch their cheeks. And then the big one that's in front of me, you can only touch their back. They were absolutely adorable. They all each had their own little personalities. They were very cute and friendly. None of them were mean or anything. Oh, just the one in the front that they were training, but I think they said she was in heat or something, and that's why. This little barn owl, so funny to me, because he or she, her name's Uta, which means song in Japanese, but she was so funny. She was attacking that snake. Look at that grip on that snake. She was attacking that plushy snake like it was a real snake. It just, oh my god, she just made me laugh so hard. And oh my god, this cutie melted my heart. Look at that little face.
You're so expressive. Oh.
Okay, so next we are headed to a shrine, but I didn't realize how much footage I actually have, so I'm actually making this whole vlog into a part 2. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Jamata!